head over to the instance. Swap our armor plates real quick. Detach, 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 detach. And let's pop in our lunar plates that we got from this instance. Gotta have the right gear. This gun right here, a $4,000 gun, real U.S. dollars. 40,000 Project Entropia dollars, which convert 10 to 1 to the U.S. dollar. It's the only game in the world where everything costs real money, and when you hunt things or mine things, they all have cash value. Take some pills to get my dude buffed up. This. We're on Arkadia Moon. Just flew over from Arkadia. Level 1. Need blood samples from the boss in here to upgrade my plates. Each level has an upgrade. I have one piece upgraded 2 levels, and the rest I'm trying to upgrade for the first time. And that's why I'm in instance 1. Once I have them all finished, I can go to 2, 3, 4, 5, and keep on upgrading. And at the end, you end up with a set of plates that's worth about, let me do some math, about $2,500. So that's what we're trying to make happen here. Lootable construction. So we got to shoot these freaks, and after you shoot so many, the boss pops up and kill his ass. Windows. Lag things a bit. See if that helps. Get some sun. Here's the boss. This is the guy we got to kill. He has a small chance of dropping what we're looking for, a blood sample that we can use to upgrade with some other items to upgrade our armor. Big money, no whammies. Come on. No. Vast majority of the time, we aren't going to get shit from him, but he's the only thing that can drop it. So you got to farm his butt. Ugly freaks. I should watch the codex. These boys is ugly. Yeah, it looks like somebody came in. How's it going? Never streamed on here before. I haven't made a video in years, but dude, what the heck? What the heck? I'm streaming Entropia on YouTube right now. I could use some help to make sure everything's working right. 2.46. Hello, hello. Papa. Dudes are ugly. Oh, hello. Welcome, viewer number 2. Using my new Oblivion Protocol PR60. This is a pretty damn good gun. Eris. Seeing how it does loot wise. Hopefully we can make some head with this thing. It was not cheap. It was 35,000 PED, which is 3,500 US dollars for a gun. We will see. So far, I've only had it a couple days. I looted a smuggler harness worth about 3,000 ped, which is the best thing I've ever looted, and I've been playing the game like 15 years. So having a good loot 2.0 weapon definitely seems to have an effect. I've also looted 2 plates up here and a couple of blood samples. So I've got the lunar plates. I have one that's upgraded to improved. The rest are still base. But pretty good protection, especially if you can get them up and perfected. But that's going to be a grind. But that's why we're here. If anybody has questions or whatever, don't be afraid to ask. I appreciate people coming out and checking it out. Uh, this game just came out on Steam. It's the only game in the world that has a completely real economy. Uh, the Project Entropia dollar, which is the currency in the game, is exchangeable for the US dollar at a fixed rate of 10 to 1. So 10 Entropia dollars equal $1. So everything you use equipment wise, even ammunition, costs real money essentially. And then everything you get from hunting mobs and doing different activities in game is worth real money. There's people that own entire moons in this game that they paid millions of dollars for. It's pretty wild. I'm surprised it never got more press. I mean, the game's been around for like 20 years. I've been in it since I think like 2008, on and off. I know I'm about as old as the planet Arkadia because I joined the game from an ad for Arkadia like a month after it came out. Just hoping we can get some loot up here. My TT returns have been good, but I've been at about 10-15 minutes. Hoping to get some blood samples because I need those to upgrade those armor plates and to get some plates just to sell. I don't know if they can drop anything cool like unlimited weapons or armor or anything like that, but I'd love to see it. But up here, you can see the loot I'm getting from each kill. And if I get something that's worth 50 Project Entropia dollars or $5 US or bigger, you'll see like swirls on the screen, like golden swirls all around here. That's you know you got a good loot. Of course, maybe you guys that are watching play the game and you probably already know all that. And since I haven't streamed it before, I thought I'd share a little. So far, nothing exciting, but you gotta grind. I need to get my mutant looter skill up. It's only 41. I'd do better on these if that was higher. It's not bad, but it's not great. And as I've not streamed on here before, if there's any issues with this stream or anything I should change or fix or whatever, I'm open to any advice anybody has. Got the convert ammo. Can't pew pew without ammunition. These instances, not only are they good for the plates and the upgrades, but like it's easy as hell. Like you can watch a movie or be working or do whatever while you're shooting these things because you just put your gun on auto and you just hit tab to target the next enemy. Uh, and if you're using pills to buff up your dude or whatever, you gotta do that once in a while. That's about it. This is the boss mob. He's the one that can drop the blood sample that you use to upgrade the plate. He's kind of what I'm after right now. Most of the time, he doesn't drop you anything. Some shrapnel, maybe some oils. But once in a while, you get lucky. Once in a while was not right now, though, for me. Oh, hey. Oh, how do you get in the instance? I'm trying to remember. I think it's part of the smuggler mission chain. Uh, Crap. Yeah, they did a whole post of it on the Planet Arcadia forum. I remember costing me a decent bit of ped. Like you had to. It's tied to the new daily system on Arcadia, where you get the daily tokens. These guys right here. You can either hunt, mine, craft, or all three to get these. And then with those, you can get blueprints to create particle samples. Um, but yeah, if you look on the Planet Arcadia forum, it outlines it. There's a nice one, almost the global, 47 fed. I don't global a whole ton because I'm using a pretty uh, darn good weapon with a native 80 efficiency. And efficiency means you're more likely to get most of your uh, spent ammo back in loot. So you don't build up as big of a pull as you would with an inefficient weapon, and then you may or may not get it back, in a global or a big off. I usually do a couple times an hour. But yeah, there's 5 levels to the instance, and all of the levels you can get the lunar plates as a drop. They're unlimited armor plates. Let's see if I can go to the right place here. Here they are, the lunar plate. And it starts off with pretty modest stats, very like the 5Bs that you can get, but they can be upgraded like 5 times all the way up to perfected. The best one I have is just 2 steps up, improved. But you look at it 15 cold, 12 cut, 6 impact, 12 stab, and it increases damage block chance by 2%. I think Perfected has a 5% block chance, and then of course all these stats are even better. And I've seen a set of them go for 25 to 30,000 head, so like 2,500 to 3 grand. So if you can grind them out, maybe buy a little bit of the stuff you need, you can definitely be a profitable hunt. And that's why you see a lot of like the Ubers up here like all day every day. That and the TT returns in this like seem to be higher than just about anywhere else. Like you can't see it, but I have a tracker overlay, and I'm at 134% return so far. It's only been like 20 minutes or 30 minutes. I'm sorry, but that's great. And I rarely dip below like 95% in here. So you're not risking a lot because you're getting, pretty much everything back as shrapnel, which is just ammo. Uh, but the plates you can get like 40 PED or around there over uh, their TT value, and you can get the blood samples, which you can use to upgrade the plates, or you can sell it for between 100 and 200 PED. So low risk but pretty high reward. I don't know if anything like really rare drops here though, like unlimited guns or armor. I think maybe armor, but I haven't seen it yet. Here's the boss again. He's the one who can drop the blood sample. He pops up every so many kills, so the faster you can kill these guys, the more often he spawns. And then he also spawns in that room with the green above the door. When it's red, it means he's in there. That seems to happen, I think, about every hour. So you get another crack at him. Um, Hold on, my brother's texting me. Tom, can you shoot him a link? Yeah, this is my first stream. I was like, hey, ask my two brothers to get on and make sure everything was working right. But yeah, unlike hunting things on the surface and stuff like that, these things spawn really quick. You just kill one, hit tab, and go to the next. So you can get through a lot of them, cycle a lot. Can get a little boring if the loot's not good though. But I see Doctor Zena's in here. They seem to hunt up here quite a bit. Seems to do really well too. Probably has some really good gear. Uh, I've got a damn good gun. The Oblivion Protocol PR60, really high DPP, 80% efficiency, and then the armor I have is the modified Viceroy, so it's maxed out. Skull Candy Edition. It adds to your crit, and then probably the other thing that matters is I have an Ares Ring perfected for reload, crit, and crit chance. I need to get more crit gear, but every everything like a left-handed ring. There's a sight you can get for your gun, a scope you can get for your gun that have crit. You've got Earth Shock armor, but all that stuff is like expensive. And I just bought this gun like a week ago, so I'm a little leveraged for the moment. Marco got a good badge. Yeah, since the game just came out on Steam, and it's the only game in the world with a real cash economy where you actually can make or lose money, invest money. There's deeds. You can own land. You can buy a whole moon if you want to. Um, what the heck? I'll stream it. People take an interest. I can answer questions for them and stuff like that. I'd like to see the game grow. Obviously it's been around like 20 years. There's been some graphic updates. It looks okay, but obviously not up to modern standards. The gameplay, not amazing. This isn't a Twitch first-person shooter type deal, but it's really more about the economy, exploration. There's a whole universe with planets and moons and star bases and starships and all that stuff. So it'd be cool. Right now, I'm just killing. There's actually two bosses in each one of these, and they spawn, like I said, about every hour. I run over and kill them because I'm mainly here for the blood samples, and only the boss drops them. And very rarely at that. Nope, no luck this time. But most of the kills you're going to get are going to be of the boss are going to be the one that spawns from you killing. Because if you kill him pretty quick, he pops up really regularly. Now these aren't private instances either, so sometimes you'll see another person. I've never seen more than one other. Yep, yeah, I'm wearing the lunar plates. Got a full set of them. Let's see, so there's the lunar plate. That's what they look like. And I have one of them upgraded twice. So here's that lunar plate improved. And it's got much better stats and a 2% block chance. Kind of hard to read it because of the positioning. But they go all the way up to perfected. Hoping I can get there someday. Depending on how all this goes, I suppose. If you have other questions, go ahead and ask. No problem helping out. I appreciate you hanging out with me there. Ming Wan, I think is how you pronounce that. Derelict Destroyer Gen 1. Oh, wow. That's a nice hit on Eris. 700 fed on a Derelict Destroyer. But yeah, I mow these down pretty quick. Like normally I would want to do a higher level of the instance, but I don't want to do that till I get all the samples, upgrade all of my plates to adjusted. Then I'll go to two, get them all improved, go to three, all the way up to perfected. That's the plan, anyways. And you see over here, I'm about done with the quest for the smuggler backpack, even though I don't really know what that does. I'm guessing adds weight. I don't know if it has any other buffs or if that's even correct. But I got to kill GMC, and they're a pain in the butt because they do a ton of cut damage almost exclusively, at least according to Entropia Wikipedia. So, and this is for the IFN Spec Ops. Like you have to cycle. I think people said 150,000 ped on the moon. This instance does not count for that, and then you get like 2 pieces of the armor. Then you have to do the same thing on Arcadia. You get another couple pieces. Then you got to do the same thing in the underground. But it's really high end armor. But that's something that's going to take a very long time if you ever get it done. But it's nice. There's like a big reward that you don't have to really do anything that specific for. You just make progress as you're doing other things, dailies or hunting different things. Just always a lot going on in Cali trade. People buying and selling all sorts of things. That reminds me, I got a post on Arc Trade here. Arc Trade copy here a little. That's not what we're going for here. There we go. Let's try that again. Copy, paste. God, it's so hot this summer in the States. It's crazy. Hope the air conditioning isn't too loud, but can't live without it. But yeah, basically the faster you kill these dorks, the more often the boss spawns. But there's the boss. The dorks can drop the plates, so it's not like they're not worth killing or whatever. They definitely are. But if you want the samples, you gotta kill the boss. Now there's 5 levels of the instance for the 5 upgrades, and each of it has 2 wings. If you look in the top right, you can see them in one room, but there's another room full of these dudes. Um, so in level 1, for example, there's the adolescents, and in the other room are juveniles, which are lower HP, easier to kill. I usually go for the bigger ones just because I already kill them pretty damn fast. But if I don't do well here, sometimes I'll go over to the juveniles and try them for a while. But generally, the bigger mobs, you have a better chance of looting the things you want because on average, uh, you're going to get a more TT value per kill. Because like to drop a plate, I don't know what minimum condition is, but it's probably around 10 PED. So like all these ones I'm killing them getting 1 or 2 pet. There's no chance of a plate dropping because they're not giving enough loot on a regular kill to drop something that big. And that's where globals come in and bigger loot. Speaking of global, I don't think we've had one yet. 45 minutes. Usually get a couple an hour on average. But I stream for the first time and I don't get them. Everybody's gonna be like, this dude does global. Or half. Let's go. Come on, you dorks. Drop us a plate. Something interesting. I'm going to keep the crew entertained. Pull a nice ATH. One for the defense block. Yeah, the defense block chance, because when you get to perfected, it's like 5%. Oh, there's global, but all shrapnel. Um, yeah, it gets up to 5%. Plus, its stab cut impact is what it protects against, which are like the most common mobs, especially on Arkadia, do those three damage types. So you can hunt virtually everything on Arkadia with an armor that has those stats, like the Viceroy, uh, and plates that cover those three. Plus, the plates, these guys also do cold damage, with which the plates have. So that way, if you keep upgrading the plates, you can do the higher and higher instances to keep upgrading. Because if you don't have better plates and you're trying to do level 5, you're gonna get massacred. So yeah, I see a full set people are offering at 30,000 PED. So pretty damn valuable. Now that's what people are asking. What's it actually worth? I don't know, but I'd venture to guess at least 20. But yeah, I'm using my Oblivion Protocol and a Mayhem L Amplifier beta. Sometimes I use my Megaton A105 modified. It makes me have higher efficiency, but slightly lower damage per peck. So it makes my returns a little better, but the higher damage per pet gets you better loot quality. And since I'm trying to loot rare items, I usually lean towards the damage over the efficiency. Spleen oil. Right. You get a little bit of that. You get a little kidney oil. Neither has very much markup. And then you get the rad conveyors. But mostly shrapnel, so you can keep on shooting. Speaking of that, I need to convert my shrapnel ammo. Let's keep on shooting. And because you can kill non-stop up here, it's good for grinding skills and for tearing up your weapon. Yeah, like I said, I haven't even had this thing weak, and it's already tiered 2.46. So, and it's not like it has a super high tier increase rate. It's okay, but it's going up quick. with all the shooting I've been doing between here, and I do the smuggler instance a lot, and I've been doing some of the basically Arcadia migration mobs. They seem to drop a good bit of limited weapons, armor, the moonshine stuff, and they can drop some cool unlimited stuff too. Now, there's the boss again. Right? Yes, some cool techno music would definitely fit the vibe, or something like with like some Star Wars Sith vibe or something. Yeah, this guy's gonna run in circles like a weirdo, making you dizzy. Yeah, no sample. So the slaughter must continue. Once in a while, I manually choose a target like that just to make sure they're not sitting there with a bunch of loot in them or something. Skill bonus. Kind of reminds me of the old mayhem instances where there'd just be a ton of mobs and you just rapid fire at them like this. I don't like the assault mayhem. I just don't enjoy it. I get what they're trying to do, make it more interactive, avoid botting and stuff, but to me it's just annoying. You gotta like hide in the shade and run around and do a bunch of crap. Not feeling that. But thanks for hanging out with me. It's cool to have a few people in here just chilling. If people like it, I'll probably stream it pretty regular since I've been playing a lot since I got my fancy gun. I figured I'd do an hour or two up here, see how it goes. If I loot something, I'll stick around. If not, I'll probably uh, either do stuff on the surface here, finish up that smuggler backpack, or more likely jump down to Arcadia and do the smuggler instance because I get a lot of limited items in there. That's where I got the unlimited smuggler armor that was worth like 3K. Uh, and I get a lot of art coins in there. But I haven't figured out what the hell to do with those yet. They don't sell real well. I tried selling some of the armor you can buy with them, but people don't seem to realize it's pretty damn good armor. So it just kind of sat on the auction house. The prototype weapons you can buy with the art coins aren't great either, and people don't seem to know about them or care about them. So not a lot of good options with our coins right now. I wish they'd add like pills or just some usable stuff that you could buy with our coins. I think it'd help Arcadia out a lot. It's like the planet's currency. Do something with it. So we're almost an hour in. One global, no items so far. Just tearing up the gun, getting skills. Let's see. I have, yeah, almost 324,000 skill. Yeah, these guys are real easy. If you have decent armor, decent evade, they're barely gonna touch you. Like just the 2% life steal off the amp is enough to keep me from ever having to heal. After the next time this boss pops, if I haven't gotten anything, I'm gonna jump over to the juveniles and just try those out for a little bit. Mix it up. That reminds me, I should take a skill pill. I ran out of juice. Buy more juice. But something's better than nothing, so we'll take the 10%. I think that's what it gives. Yeah, 10%. I've been running the 100% 10-hour ones for like a week because I wasn't maxed out on this gun, so I had to use some limited ones. I never used plasma before. Laser, yeah. BLP, yep, but not plasma. But I'm maxed out on the gun now. Oh, there's a nice one. Almost the global again. Just short. No item. There's more shrapnel to shoot at these nerds. Buffs are wearing off in 5 minutes. I have to buff up again. Not that I need it, but I like killing them quicker and critting get your DPP up. Which gives you a better chance of loot and stuff. And you need that help in this shrapnel fest. Let's get this boss again. Yep, that's exactly what I think. Because I very rarely looted uh, items, especially rare stuff, when I used uh, like the R Matrix series of limited weapons, and I've had like unlimited weapons that weren't Loot 2.0, and then I bought this gun, and it's got a bunch of efficiency and a much higher DPP. It's like 3.4, one of the best in the game. And I looted that smuggler armor, an ESI, MP skill and plan, a bunch of limited stuff all the time. So yeah, I think it definitely works how they said it does, which is You know, the more damage per peck you're doing, the better loot composition you get, more items, better stuff, better shot at markup, no question about it. And that's why anything that gives you more crit is freaking expensive because the Ubers in this game, they know what they're doing. So anything with crit is expensive. So with using the 10 milligram pills, I have, and my gear and everything, I've got a 5.2 on the crit chance and 54% on the crit damage on top of my gun. So, and then I've got 24% reload speed between the Ares perfected and the pill. So that just helps you. You shoot faster more often. You kill things quicker. You can just cycle through more mobs per hour. Jumped over to the juvenile, see if they're treating us any differently. Oh, there we go. 73 PD. But yeah, like if you check the Hall of Fame and go to rare items, and we scroll past all the Hyperion stuff that everybody's getting, usually you're gonna see a bunch of, it says unknown or whatever, but you'll see a bunch there. Unknown, it's Smuggler Genetics Laboratory, which is this instance level 1. So he got a sample or a plate. That looks like a plate 11 bed. This dude did in level 2. There's a bunch of them in here somewhere. Maybe they were higher up, but there's another one. Unknown Smuggler Genetics Laboratory, level 2, level 5. But yeah, so you can look through here and see. Somebody got graphene. I could loot that stuff. I think I've gotten 1 or 2 ever. It's so hard to get. That's for the smuggler plates, which I have like I think 3 out of 7. Yeah, it's these guys here. These are from the smuggler instance. Gives you a block chance, cut, impact, and stab. Little plate. I use these pretty much everywhere except for when I'm in this instance. Now, when I get to where my plates are hopefully upgraded more, I'll wear them. These want the lunar ones instead of the smuggler. Huh. No game. Interesting. I don't know how I set it. You know, level settings. I don't know if anything. Overlay for breaks. That's. I don't have access to this feature. Okay. Thanks, YouTube. Expand the menu. Let's see. What's that? Oh, dashboard. That's not helpful. see a lot of options to fix any of that in here. Weird. I'll have to Google it before I stream next time. My brother says there's no in-game sound. Maybe if I turn my sound up, y'all be able to hear it. I don't know. Put a lot of videos on YouTube over the years, but never streamed, so I have much to learn, I'm sure. Oh, the boss is up. See how it's red there? And on the mini map, you can see the two of them. So let's go do that. Look at the little creepers in the vat. You see them? Baby abominations. Maybe that's just because of my settings. Let's go in here. I keep it pretty low because usually I'm watching like YouTube and stuff like that when I'm playing. Let's crank it up, see what happens. Excuse me, ugly mother. I gotta. I'm like, why am I so slow? Oh wow, that guy was just waiting to get up in my butt, wasn't he? I'll take care of you in a second. And I've lost the joke. Bony bastard. Drop me some loot. Let's go. Man, that's a big nothing burger on that one. Alright, ugly. You waited your turn. Oh wow, there's two of them on my butt. That one got stuck in there. That idiot. Yeah, you're dead. Why? Come on, stupid. I have the mortality you seek. Look at that. What the? You glitchy. Alright. Time for you to depart this world. Let's go. Definitely not clear voice audio. That's great. Maybe my mic's just too far away. Maybe the settings are wrong. You know, say, hombre. Let me know if that's better. I moved the mic closer. And how come you're texting me instead of talking in YouTube? Can you chat in YouTube? Much better. All right. Appreciate the assist, my man. All right. Now I see you in chat. There you are, my dude. Got two brothers. And they're both here. You know why? Because they're great brothers. All I did was send a text and said, hey, I'm streaming on YouTube. Something I've never done. They both show up. Best brothers in the fucking world. Thanks for coming out, guys. Seriously. I don't know. I just figured, I'm grinding in this game. I like to talk about it. I don't mind answering questions. I figured, what the hell? Why don't I stream it? Because there might be some people who have questions. They just released this on Steam. People might be like, "What the hell is this about?" Figure I'd be able to show people, talk to them about it, whatever. We'll see. I'm grinding these creepers for about an hour. Got 2 globals, no items. Uh, Efficient returns though. I'm at 126%, which means making money shooting these ugly bastards. So, but yeah, if you want to know what $3,500 in a virtual game looks like, it looks like this. Uh, it's my gun, the Oblivion Protocol PR-60 plasma rifle, 84.5 damage per second. It's 80% efficient. My attachments are dragging it down, especially the amp. But that's plenty efficient. Nice damage interval, 48 shots a minute. I've got it tiered up twice already. About halfway to tier 3, which is cool. So I've been able to do it in just a couple of days. But decided to make the investment to see, how much better my hunting results would be, and so far it's been great. Oh, by the way, Tom, the Wambana said you're a bitch. Yep. Yeah, I have 2 damage enhancers in there. Everything in this game, you have to think of it as competition. So everybody else that's in these instances, I'm competing against them, and whoever's doing, the more DPP you're doing, damage per pack, the more likely you're going to be the person that gets the loot, right? Because loot is rare, um, and essentially you're in a competition in a pool with the other players, and the better your gear, the better your chances. Now, that doesn't mean you can't get items if your gear sucks. You can. You can get lucky, but you might have a 1 in 10 chance, while an Uber with amazing gear, he might have uh, a 1 in 4 chance, a 1 in 3 chance when the next item drops for it to go to him. So I'm just trying to max out how much damage I'm doing. Plus, like every kill is a roll at loot, right? So if I'm making 100 kills an hour and you're making 40 kills an hour, I have a much higher chance of hitting something because I'm taking more spins of the wheel. But so efficiency is what affects loot quantity, the actual value of loot you get, and your damage per pack is what affects loot quality. Right around 3.4. If you look up my weapon on Entropia Wikipedia and you sort it by DPP, it's on the 4th page. So it's literally one of the best weapons in the game. And it's on the 5th page for efficiency. So there's probably, I don't know, yeah, I mean, like roughly somewhere between 50 and 100 weapons in the game that are better on those 2 fronts than mine. And that means there's thousands and thousands that are, less efficient and less likely to loot. But enhancers don't really, I don't think, help a lot with your DPP. I think it's more of you're killing faster, you're killing more, so you get more. It's almost like pulls on a slot machine. If you take 20 pulls on a slot machine and I take 50, who's more likely to get a jackpot? I am. To use a gambling analogy. But yeah, Entropia Wiki has a bunch of like calculators and information to help you figure out like kind of where you're at on that stuff. And the difference between good equipment and bad equipment is night and day. I mean, it's unbelievable. Pretty much all of the weapons, 99% of the weapons that were produced before the change to Loot 2.0, will give you horrible returns and a bad chance at loot. They're just not nearly as good. And then, on top of it, if you're using limited weapons that you constantly have to replace and pay markup on, you're really, swimming upstream at that point. But if you're going to use limited, try to get one of the exceptional weapons. Those things are really good efficiency and damage wise. And they're post Loot 2.0. They're from the new Moon Eris. Got that global in the juveniles and then jumped back to adolescent anyways. But got one here too, so. Or two on these actually. There's the boss again, standing on my head while I shoot him in the nutsack. Huh? That makes for a nice screenshot for people coming in. World class nut shot. That doesn't get you a blood sample. What will? No, 25 ped though. It's a good one. You will notice too, if you have a high efficiency weapon, you will actually global less because you're getting, more of your loot back on average on every kill. So a lot of people mistake that for being worse, but if you're actually tracking your returns, you're doing better. Get some. Forgot to convert ammo. What did I get there? It's not brain oil. What is that? Heart oil. All right, good markup on that. Sometimes you get brain oil in here too. That's good markup. And we're gonna keep that. Make sure we don't sell it or turn it into nano cubes. As a lot of things end up. And usually about every 2 hours I repair my gear. Try to keep things in pretty good condition. Because unlimited armor, as it gets damaged, it becomes less effective. You don't want that. I made instead of making a smuggler plate, I made one of the limited plates. This thing here, the plate MK1. Check the stats out on this bad boy. Okay, it's limited, which does suck, but look at that, 17, 16, 16, and a 3% block chance. That's pretty damn nice when all you need is one of these moonshine armor plates. It has to be max TT 30, perfect condition, and like 10 graphene polymer, and you can make one of these bad boys. You need the graphene composite if you want to make the unlimited version, which is the smuggler, but it has a little less stats and less damage block chance. So everything's a trade-off. Question, because I don't know how this thing works. Are they showing you guys ads or anything, or are you just getting to watch? I hope they're not showing effing ads. I'm not really doing this for money. And ad revenue on YouTube sucks, anyways. Like, I've had videos with tens of thousands of views and all that, and people are like, "Oh, you must, make some money." And it's like, dude, I made like no money off of YouTube. Sad but true. And I have like hundreds of hours of wargaming content that I made like a couple $100 off of. Like I don't even think it was $1 an hour. That's not why I was doing it, but cool, no ads, thank God. I don't, I don't even know where the settings are for crap like that for this streaming. I was worried about it. 29 petter, that was a good one. Returns at 125% right now. So we're doing really well TT wise, just no items. Only takes one. And thanks for the feedback on that, Ming. I appreciate it. You've been a real help, my friend. Oh, and did the in-game audio and music and stuff get louder when I changed the setting in game, or is it still the same? Not right sure how that works. Sorry for all the questions. Just wanted to be as good as possible. Don't hear anything anymore. Huh, what if I do this? Or is that just coming through my microphone? I don't even know. Do you hear that? And now you do hear it. That's weird. I have to turn it up myself and listen to it, I guess. Huh. Yeah, I'll definitely do some research before I stream again on all that stuff. But thanks again for the feedback. Let's check one more time in here. So, crank that up. Have to wait for another music track to start to see if that comes through better. But yeah, where's the techno or house or something to fit the vibes? Some EDM. Clunk, clunk, clunk. Yeah, my $3,500 gun. Yeah. Oh shit, that's funny. Somebody just got 68 head off of a juvenile drifter. Doesn't look like an item though. pew, pew, pew. There's some guns in this game that make horrible noises. I had one once. I can't remember what it was. That was years ago. But like I got rid of it because I couldn't stand listening to the thing. It sounded awful. And there's some music. And there's 27 bed. Because these things only cost like maybe 3 ped to kill. Boss is more, obviously. He's got a lot more HP. Play this game long enough, you'll have all the tracks memorized pretty quickly. No, where's my damn blood sample? Stingy bastards. Trying to get rich over here. Let's go. Jump for luck. Does that work? Maybe I gotta like do a shuffle here. Do the big loop dance. Nope. That didn't work either. Gonna be due to repair here in a bit. Probably the next time the bosses spawn in the rooms while I'm running around to hit the repair terminal. Top things off. There you go. You can get an Oblivion Protocol Power Fist 20. Much less damage, like half my damage, less efficiency. But, wow. Yeah, 20k. Jeez. Oh no. That's not good. First floor apartment. Yeah, for highest single loot events, what you want to do is efficiency doesn't matter much. As a matter of fact, it will more than likely hurt you. You'll global less and they'll be smaller. So yeah, I wouldn't use something super low efficient because like there's guns out there with like 8%. You'll lose your ass in PED. But something with like 50, 60, and you want high DPP, and you want to get your crit up as much as you can, use as many pills as you can. You want your DPS as high as possible so you can kill more of the mobs faster than anyone. And you want to ideally have armor and plates where healing is never a thing, because time you spent healing is time you're not spending shooting. You literally want to be shooting the entire time. Back when I'm just getting back into the game after a hiatus, but I used to hunt in events and won a good bit of them. So, yep, that's exactly what you want to do to win those things. And another little trick you can use too is before the event, um, go hunt something pretty big, uh, and I hope you don't do all that great loot wise. You can kind of build up your personal loot pool, and then go into the event where you're expecting to get a corrective Hoff, basically, and a lot of times you can get it. So, but yeah, kill fast, kill big. Higher the highest HP mobs. If there's different maturities, go for the big maturities. The biggest you can handle, obviously. And the biggest name in the game is you want to be killing the creatures faster than anyone around you. If you look around and everybody's killing faster than you've got a very small chance of winning. You can get lucky, it can happen, but the odds are against you. If you look around and you're killing faster than everyone else, or most people, then consider yourself a favorite to win. So yeah, get the biggest damage per pack and biggest DPS setup you can. Rack up any enhancers you can, the best buffs you can, all that stuff. Somebody got a mutated Helix. That's the event. 88 head. I doubt that'll win, but and really, if the event is most globals, you pretty much want the same situation. Kill faster than everyone. Don't be uh, high efficiency, but really good DPP, DPS, killing quickly, killing the biggest ones possible. Good questions, by the way. Currently, return sitting at 121%, so it's come down a little bit. So other things are, just a random fluctuation. Could be cooling off a little bit, or usually it means I'm pretty close to globaling. In the last 2 weeks, I've had three Hoffs, all almost exactly 1,000 PED. Nothing, big. I think my biggest ever was like 7,000. It's not very big. That's 700 US dollars. But like until recently, I didn't kill a lot of really big mobs. My skill and gear just wasn't there. Now I'm able to do some pretty big stuff. These guys are on the small side, but I need the damn blood samples, and they rarely go up for sale. So if I want them, I gotta hunt them. Like I said, I don't mind because like my return in here is I can pretty much shoot these things indefinitely without losing anything. So, which is pretty damn nice. But I'm gonna do this about another 25 minutes, 2 hours, and if I don't get either a good global or Hoff or an item, I'm probably gonna go over to the smuggler instance and see if I can do better there. See if they're dropping anything, or I could do the migration mobs on Ark. But I think I'm leaning towards the smuggler instance. Get a lot of stuff in there sometimes. And not a lot of people do that instance. So when there's items in the pool, I get them all pretty much, or the majority of them. Guns, plates, armor, and you know, you got to get that markup because even if you're really efficient, you're not going to get, you're not going to average over 100% return. You're going to get like 96, 97%. You got to cover that gap with markup if you don't want to be losing money. Premature on that one. Now I got a bunch of these freaks. Probably get more skills if I let a couple of them beat on me. More armor wear, but critting a good bit. So if I get a big enough loot, get an item, I got a decent shot at it. I think. Eventually, I get some real work done too, but I can probably play for another hour or so, maybe. Ah, bosses are up. Red light is on. Let's go see my sweetheart. Red room. Red room. What's up? Give me your god darn blood sample. If I stand in this vapus. Nope. Number one's a no go. Let's go see nerd number two. Well, here, most of that's the gun. Hello, sweetheart, I'm home. None. Ugh. Alright, try a little bit more. Alright, my patience is running out with these clowns. Get a party started. See, the juveniles have a little less health. They go down a little quicker. And actually, here, I might as well. I'm going to spend 15 minutes trying level 2, just to see if that changes anything. That way I can show you what that looks like. Alright. You can see what the entrance looks like. Definitely smugglers. I literally wrote it on the wall. Go to the console. We're going to choose level 2. The mobs will be bigger and they will drop the second upgrade blood sample instead of the first. Looks like the bosses are up, which is interesting. I wonder if you can just go level to level killing bosses. He's much bigger. Level 43. Adult. Put a regen on there. Hopefully he doesn't murder me. He hits like a truck. I'm feeling that. I don't even know if I'll be able to do the other boss, but one way to find out. Well, I have a pill I can take if it looks too scary. But yeah, these guys are level 22. Abomination adults. Let's go see what's in the other half here. Is somebody dead on the floor? Yeah, it is. Ouch. Level 6 primes. Yeah, this boss is going to be pretty damn big, I think. Yeah, let's pop a medi just to be sure. That way he's chewing through that. He's got some hit points. Prime boss. No luck. Let's see how hard these jerks hit. Hello, dead person. Probably AFK or was botting. Not to call anybody out, but kind of weird that you're just laying there, homie. Alright, that went very hard. My kit, Coco. My evade's much higher level than them, so they should have a hard time connecting. Room full of freaks. Put some clothes on. Returns down to 119%. Is a nice global coin. Firing minds want to know. That's what happens when you just start pressing buttons. I think I better regen up there a little bit. Your chance of getting hit goes up exponentially when you've got multiple creepers pounding on you, by the way. So unless you're trying to tear up your armor or boost your defensive skills at the cost of efficiency, you're better off just one at a time. Get in line. Nothing here yet either. Boo. Well, like I said, give us a little bit, and it's gonna be time for a venue change. Because not only have I not gotten anything, I haven't seen anybody else getting anything. Might be a big off in here, but never count on that. That would be cool. So much. You're like, this dude sucks.
Welcome to your Giant Eagle Pharmacy, located in Altoona. Para continuar en español, presione 9. We are excited to welcome Rite Aid customers and are here to make your transition simple and stress-free. If you are a Rite Aid customer, please press 5 to leave a voice message for the pharmacy, or press 7 if you need immediate assistance. You may also visit your local Giant Eagle Pharmacy. Our friendly and knowledgeable pharmacists are ready to help 7 days a week. with convenient hours that fit your schedule. I found an account using the phone number you are calling from. To verify the patient's identity, please enter the 2-digit month and 2-digit day of the prescription holder's birthday. Press 1 if this is Gregory Little. Otherwise, press star to go. We're now offering a more personalized experience, which may include some of your protected health information, such as the names of your medications. To refill your Dexcom G7 sensor, press 1. To skip this prescription, press 2. Okay, I won't submit that one. To refill your Dexcom G7 receiver, press 1. To skip this prescription, press 2. Okay, I won't submit that one. I see you also have prescriptions with other statuses. To hear them, press 1. Otherwise, press star to go to the... Your metformin HCl 500 mg, escitalopram oxalate 20 mg, and lisinopril 20 mg are available for pickup. The total copay for these prescriptions will be $66.93. To refill a prescription, press 1. If you are a prescriber, press 2. To check the status of a prescription,
Kill the freaks. Alright, I'm gonna kill these until the boss spawns one more time. No interesting loot. We're getting the hell out of here. I had 3 small globals, no items. Almost 2 hours in here. Blech. Good TT return, but other than that, pretty goddamn unremarkable. Got to turn my shrap into ammo. So let's go. Yeah, my buffs are about to wear off anyways. Not sure how to see who's in here, but if you're a new person, welcome. What do we got there? Bunch of spleen oil, that's it. Global's nice, items are better. Bodies everywhere. Everywhere. Get some. Where's that big loot at? Some plates, some blood samples. Let's go. 20% profit so far, which is good for 2 hours of shooting. That one is the sample. I'll upgrade these plates. 3 area code. I know that number. Come on, boss. It's go time. Yep. Oh, yeah. Yep. Don't get something here. We're gonna probably jump to the Arkadia smuggler instance. But I want to kill one more boss. Uno más tiempo, por favor. No, I speak Spanish. Somebody leaves. Nope, the 7th. I guess my brother's left. They're both working. I usually am right now, but decided to do this instead. At least a couple hours today. Play with my new gun. Still not a boss. Being shy. Don't be a shy guy. I wonder how my tearing on my gun is done. 2.47 slowly. There's the boss. I want to drop me a wonder here. A bigger going home. What's it gonna be? Oh, that's what I get for not paying attention. No. Thou shalt heal yourself, dummy. There, he better give me a good loot after this nonsense. Embarrassing me on my first stream by dusting me like that. Nah. That's a whole lot of nonsense. Time to travel. Get the hell out of here, because it cost you 5 ped of art coins, I think 8 hours. So Don't want to waste time on the terminals in there. This is low markup crap, so I'm just gonna sell it. Got some stuff with markup. Let's see, might as well buy our ammo ahead of time. Then, yes. We could not execute. Oh, 8,000 bed, yeah. Oh, God. Alright. Let's try that again. Ammunition, weapon cells, and there we go. Alright. Then we're going to go to the portal, go to Ark, try the smuggler instance. See if there's some loot in there for us. Alright, so we change it from the moon to Arkadia. We're going to go to the military HQ. Teleport. Back on Ark. Blah, blah, blah. We're going to change up our gear. Fight and shooty stuff down here. I have the IFN prototype with Moonshine Armor Plate 2. And still have to change a couple things on that. And put that. I hate how it puts the back on too. Take that off. There we go. Looking cool. Got the right ring on. Yep. We are ready. I think I have access to 1, 3, and 4. I'm gonna do 3. I do the best in there. Now this guy, I mean, you don't know it, but he's a smuggler. He's like, hey, homie, you can go right on in. Here's gate 3. I had to kill a metric ton of badgers to get access to this. Now, badger's a robot, not like an animal badger. Dust. All right, now we're inside the warehouse. We still have our buffs for a minute or two. Oh no, darn! Now I can show you how to do this where you never have to fight more than one mob at a time. It's a smart way to do it. We're just gonna use this to peek around and say, hey, oh, don't do that. Stay back here. This line of sight prevents those guys from aggroing us. If I just ran out there, anywhere from 1 to all 5 of them would jump me. That it's not good for business. Turn on the regen. No, we pulled 2. Mistakes were made. And then things get different quick. Alright. You stay there. He can't shoot me. Like this, you can see through it, but it pretty much counts as a wall. Now he can shoot me. It's not great, but should be able to get the other one down pretty quick. And he's dead. There's some of the loot you get in here. Nothing interesting yet. But yeah, I've done this instance many a time. Just a couple days ago, I got that unlimited smuggler harness. It's worth 3,000 to 4,000 PED, which is $300 to $400, which is pretty damn nice. Basically a bunch of these shooty IFN guys. It's kind of funny that I wear this IFN armor in here. I think I'm a traitor. Yeah, nothing good. But they drop a lot of weapon attachments in here. Limited armor plates. The limited armor plates that you need to make the unlimited smuggler plates. that I have 3 of 7 of so far. Then I usually run over here. Right, there's a guy right there. Shoot him in the face. He's immobile, so if you're out of his range, if you're a rifle dude like me, he can't do anything but sit there and get shot. Same is true of the dorks that are up on top of the things here. We'll shoot him next. Kill him. Usually there's a guy. Oh, there he is. I see him, see? If I went out just a little bit more, he would have saw me and came charging. We want to avoid that. One at a time. Boom. And we do this guy. 11 art coins. You get a lot of those in here. That's why I'm walking around with 800 pet of them. You get some markup out of them, but they don't, like a huge volume of them doesn't sell, so it can be tricky. Like I said, I wish they gave, forgot one guy. I wish they gave you better options on stuff to spend your art points on. Maybe someday they will, and that would be great for me, because I get a lot of these things in here. Oh, our buffs wore off. Let's at least take a hyper. I'm going to hold off on the other two, and only pop them if I'm getting some action in here. Oh, I should restart my tracker so I know what my return is in here. So going back to 0 on that. Good. There you go. This guy, immobile as well. If you're all the way against the wall like I am right now, you're out of his range. So you can shoot him, but he can't shoot you. So you take care of all these guys like this, and then a row of 5 more will spawn right there. You want to not be out in the middle, because then they'd see you and all start shooting at you. That's a good way to get dead, and good way to waste a lot of your armor and stuff. Oh, hooked my head out way too far there. Just enough to see one is what you want. Right? Again, one at a time. Now these guys have pretty good HP and everything. You can get some nice sized globals and hoffs in here. And like I said, a lot of items. Just got to see if they're in the pool. Art coins you can always get though. But weapons, armor, all that stuff. Faps. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes, usually at least a little you'll get doing the instance, but sometimes you get a lot. Like you get like 10, 12 items in one run. If you use the whole 2 hours. Because there's a trick I'm going to show you to get endless spawns in here, so you don't have to keep running the instance. There's one place where you can do it. And I'm talking to myself at this point, but that's all right. Shoot this nerd. And the next nerd. May have pulled. Nope, didn't pull 2 nerds. Good. The next nerd is the final nerd for this room. .360 no scope. Where will the nerds spawn? Nerds spawn. Will be here. Will be there. You never know. I think it's random. not seeing it. Oh, there it is. Damn, you were slow today. You gotta kill this guy to get through the next door. See, I'm up against the door. There it is. He did. Door open. Oh no, I triggered the alarm. What would I do now? I know. Hide behind this fence. Slowly inch my way out. Only one guy can see me. Entropia is a virtual world. Planets, moons, space, aliens, enemies. And there's a nice one. Almost a global. 48 pay. I'm rich, mother liquor. Where did everybody go? I got no homies watching with me. I'm all alone in here. Uh oh. Pull two. Way to go, dummy. Grab water. Alright. Get some regen going. Yeah. One at a time, please. Laggy in here. What in the hell is going on? Getting tag team, that's what's going on. $2 snake. What in the hell? Alright. coin action. Little not tearing for shit. $97%. You're getting rich anytime soon, either. Alright, doors open. There it is. You get a plate. Cool. two of these clones. There's a nice one. Buck 30. 130 PED. No items.